Hello, good morning, and welcome to today's edition, the May 3rd, 2024 edition of 10 with Ben, your daily 10 minutes with me, Ben Carella, coming to you, sponsored by Mazda of Palm Beach. We're going to get right into it. We start our day here, our 10 with Ben, with the baseball reference Immaculate Grid. So let's take a look at today's grid number 397. We won't go over this all the time, but since we're in the early days of 10 with Ben, we'll just explain it. We've got 9 squares on this grid. Where those squares intersect, we are going to guess a player in that intersecting grid. The lower, we have 9 guesses. Can't use the same player twice. There is a rarity score at the end. The lower the rarity score, the more unique and elite your baseball knowledge is. Single-digit rarity scores off the charts. Triple-digit rarity scores, pretty common answers. Somewhere in the middle is somewhere in the middle. So let's get started with player who played for the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland Athletics. I am going to go with Willie Wilson. Outfielder Willie Wilson. Okay, 2% of the people have guessed that. Now we have the Royals and the Guardians / Indians. That one to me is pretty easy. That will be Kevin Seitzer. 3% of the people guessed that. A Kansas City Royal with a 100 RBI season. Now, Carlos Beltran comes to mind, Mike Sweeney, Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas. Got to go a little more rare on that one. We're going to come back to that one. We're going to stick with these teams here. We have the Nationals, Expos / and the A's. I am going to go with Matt Stairs is a good one. Willie Randolph, maybe. Got to go. My guy from the 2004 Red Sox, Orlando Cabrera. I should pick up that phone, but I'm not going to. Expos, Nationals, and the Guardians, Indians. I'm going to go with, from my West Palm Beach Expos days, Will Cordero. Yes, okay. Nationals, Expos with a 100 RBI season. Vlad Guerrero, Bryce Harper. Those are some pretty common answers. I'm going to go with guy from the 80s who, Tim Wallach. I don't know. Tim Wallach is there. So now we have a Oakland Athletic who won a Gold Glove. Eric Chavez is really the only one that comes to mind. I don't know if Miguel Tejada. Boy, Chavez seems like everyone's gonna. I might have to come back to that one. A Cleveland Guardian who won a Gold Glove. I'm going to go with Sandy Alomar Jr., although we know Omar Vizquel and probably Roberto Alomar. S-A-N-D-Y, Sandy Alomar. Okay, 8% of the people guessed that. A 100 RBI season by someone who also won a Gold Glove. I'm going to go with Brett Boone. Not Bert Boone, Brett Boone. All right, Gold Glover for the A's, or a Kansas City Royal with a 100 RBI season. I'm going to go Jeff King here. Seem to remember in the 90s. Yes, okay. And finally, an Oakland A that won a Gold Glove. Alfredo Griffin. Unless he won that one with the Dodgers. Alfredo Griffin. Yeah, okay, we got it. All 9 for 9. We went Immaculate, rarity score of 18, so not quite elite, not in the single digits, but pretty low double digits. I'm good with that. I am good with that. So we'll leave that grid up there. And now, what do we want to talk about for the remainder of our 10 minutes here? Well, I think that it's probably time to talk about the Miami Heat, whose season ended 2 nights ago. in the first round of the playoffs as an 8 seed to the number 1 seed Celtics. They had to play 2 play-in games and win the second one just to be the 8th seed. They did play that series without their superstar, Jimmy Butler. And I think what we're seeing here is that it's probably time. I think that the Miami Heat, as currently constructed, have pretty much maxed out who they are and what they are, right? Good enough last year, play together at the right time with Jimmy Butler leading the way to take them again as the 8th seed all the way to the NBA Finals. They didn't really make any additions this year. They kind of ran it back, actually lost some guys that were pretty critical to them last year in Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. They played, I don't have the regular season win total in front of me, but, won between 40 and 50 games, had to play in the play-in, got into the playoffs as an 8 seed. I don't know how much better they'd have been with Jimmy Butler out there on the floor, but it feels like this iteration of the Miami Heat with their pseudo big three of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero is probably maxed out. Look, are they better than an 8 seed if everyone's healthy and playing together? Probably, right? But they're not the best team in the East. They're probably not a top 3 team in the East. So, what are they? Well, they're this. How do you change it, right? I think, in my opinion here, what we've seen in these last couple days with the Phoenix Suns being eliminated are talks of the Suns looking to move Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant wants out. It seems that every time Kevin Durant has been a free agent or has made a mess to get himself out of the current team situation that he's in, the Miami Heat are always out there on the periphery. They're always suggested. There's always talks, and he always ends up going to another team. So is now the time where the Miami Heat and Kevin Durant come together? Probably the most likely if he's going to get out of Phoenix, but is this what Miami Heat fans should want? I don't know, right? I honestly, if we take a look at what's going on there in Phoenix and how they put together this, they've got a dynamic young scorer in Devin Booker. They've got a top 10 player all time in Kevin Durant. And they have, signed a quality veteran in Bradley Beal, multiple-time All-Star, a huge contract, and 1 season together. It looks like they're going to blow that up, right? It's not going to work. And I think that if you bring Kevin Durant to Miami and you pair him with Jimmy and you pair him with Bam, it's got a real Phoenix Suns vibe to it, right? You've got the good young player in there in Bam, who's a much different player than Devin Booker, but from an age standpoint, he's the younger veteran guy in there. And you got KD and Jimmy, and that's the other thing, right? Now we're seeing that Jimmy Butler has, these veteran NBA contracts, man. They're big money, and they become bigger money. Now, he can opt into a restructure of 2 years at just shy of $120 million. And can you pay? Are you going to pay Jimmy Butler, close to $60 million a season at this point in his career? It feels like a poison pill almost. But I don't know what you do. Then you got to bring in KD. Now you're going to have 2 guys in Jimmy and KD that are taking up almost 50% of your cap space. Bam's making big money. Tyler Hero's making big money. Now you get into that situation that like the Lakers are in, that the Heat have kind of been in the past, where you got these core guys and you can't really build around them. You've got to go out there and find these ancillary pieces on cheap veteran deals, or undrafted guys because you don't have any draft picks because you use them to trade for this, and you don't really have that quality depth behind these aging and oft-injured superstars. So what I would say at this point, and look, man, we become attached to these players and these teams, right? We see what they can be at their best, and we think that it's going to be that all the time. So to suggest that they need to blow it up, you know, a lot of fans don't want that, right? But I think that maybe they do. Maybe they need to see what they can get for Jimmy Butler. Maybe they need to see what they can get for Bam, you know? Maybe Tyler Hero's the one that sticks around, because I'm not sure what kind of trade value that he has. But, you know, if you can, you know, you can get some draft picks and some younger guys, and maybe you got to go through a season or two of not making the playoffs to rebuild and reshape that roster. You know, the other side of it is this, right? If they bring in Jimmy for the big money, if they bring in KD, does it go different than how it went in Phoenix because of Heat culture? Maybe. I don't know. But I think either way, big changes are coming for the Miami Heat this offseason. Thanks for sticking with me. We went a little long today, probably because I keep explaining the Immaculate Grid to all of you. So, you know, moving forward, we're just going to jump right into that. But have a great Friday, everybody. And we didn't talk about the Kentucky Derby. Maybe we'll do that on Saturday morning. All right, guys. Have a great one. 10 with Ben. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, tell your friends.